Ladies and gentlemen, most people are waiting for life to change before they decide to change. They believe that someday, when they have more money, more confidence, more opportunities, or better circumstances, everything will finally come together. But life doesn't work that way. The future is not built by waiting for the perfect moment. The future is built by becoming the kind of person who creates better moments. If you want to change your life forever, the first thing you must understand is this. Your life changes only when you do. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your habits. Every day you make hundreds of small decisions. Most of them seem too small to matter. Waking up a little earlier, reading a few pages of a book, choosing discipline over distraction, saving a little money instead of spending it, speaking with kindness instead of anger. These decisions appear insignificant when viewed individually, but over time, they become your destiny. Great success is rarely the result of one dramatic decision. It is usually the result of thousands of small choices made consistently. Too many people underestimate what 1 year of focused effort can accomplish. They overestimate what they can do in a week, and underestimate what they can become in a decade. Real transformation isn't fast, but it is powerful. Like a tree, growth happens quietly beneath the surface, before anyone notices it above the ground. If you stay committed to the process, one day people will call you successful without realizing how many ordinary days you invested to become extraordinary. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to change everything at once. They become excited, create impossible goals, and burn out within days. Lasting change isn't about doing everything perfectly. It is about improving steadily. Focus on becoming just a little better today than you were yesterday. Improvement may seem slow, but consistency has a way of multiplying results beyond your imagination. You don't need a new life. You need a new way of thinking. Your mind is like a garden. If you neglect it, weeds naturally grow. Negative thoughts, excuses, doubts, and fears begin to take over. But if you intentionally plant seeds of knowledge, gratitude, discipline, and optimism, your mind becomes fertile ground for success. The battle for your future is won or lost in your thinking long before it appears in your head. Circumstances. Every successful person eventually discovered one important truth. Responsibility is freedom. As long as you blame your past, your parents, your boss, the economy, or bad luck, you give away your power. The moment you accept responsibility, you reclaim control. Responsibility doesn't mean everything is your fault. It means your future is your responsibility, regardless of what happened yesterday. That's where your power begins. There will always be reasons why something cannot be done. There will always be obstacles, disappointments, and setbacks. But successful people don't spend their energy explaining why things are difficult. They spend their energy finding ways to move forward despite the difficulty. Every obstacle carries within it a lesson that prepares you for a greater opportunity. Failure is not your enemy. Quitting is. Failure teaches lessons that success never could. Every mistake reveals something valuable if you are willing to learn instead of complain. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" That single question transforms pain into wisdom. Your environment shapes your future more than you realize. The books you read, the conversations you have, the people you spend time with, the content you consume every day. All of these quietly influence your beliefs. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, your thinking will become negative. If you surround yourself with growth, excellence, and possibility, your thinking begins to rise to that level. Protect your mind with the same care you protect your home. You wouldn't allow strangers to walk into your house and fill it with garbage. Don't allow negative voices to fill your mind with doubt. Be selective about what you listen to, because your thoughts eventually become your actions. Time is your greatest asset. Everyone receives the same 24 hours each day, but not everyone uses them wisely. Some people spend hours escaping reality through endless entertainment, while others spend those same hours building skills, improving relationships, and creating opportunities. The difference isn't time. The difference is priorities. If something is important to you, schedule it. Don't leave your dreams to spare moments. Put learning on your calendar. Put exercise on your calendar. Put family on your calendar. Put personal growth on your calendar. What gets scheduled gets done. What gets ignored slowly disappears. Success is not built only in moments of inspiration. It is built during the ordinary days when no one is watching. It is built when you choose discipline instead of comfort. Anyone can stay motivated after hearing an inspiring message. The real challenge is staying committed on the days when motivation disappears. That's when character takes over. Character is built through repeated decisions. Every promise you keep to yourself strengthens your confidence. Every promise you break weakens your self-belief. Confidence doesn't come from talking about your goals. It comes from proving to yourself that you can be trusted to follow through. Don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. Every person has a different timeline. Comparison steals joy and distracts you from your own progress. Instead of measuring yourself against others, measure yourself against the person you were 6 months ago. That comparison will reveal your true growth. Your words matter. The language you use shapes your identity. If you constantly say, "I can't," your mind stops looking for solutions. Replace those words with, "How can I?" Suddenly your brain begins searching for possibilities. The questions you ask yourself determine the direction of your thinking. Gratitude is another life-changing habit. It doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means recognizing blessings while solving challenges. Gratitude creates emotional strength. It reminds you that even during difficult seasons, there is still something valuable in your life worth appreciating. A grateful heart sees opportunities that a complaining heart never notices. Success without purpose eventually feels empty. Don't chase achievements just to impress people. Build a life that reflects your values. Know why you're working so hard, whether it's your family, your future, your faith, or your desire to make a positive impact. Purpose gives meaning to effort and strength during difficult times. Never stop learning. The moment you believe you know enough, you stop growing. Every book, every conversation, every experience contains lessons if you approach life with humility. Lifelong learners remain valuable because they continue expanding their minds while others become comfortable. Take care of your health because your body carries every dream you have. Energy creates productivity. A healthy body supports a focused mind. Small daily choices like eating wisely, sleeping well, moving your body, and managing stress become investments that pay dividends for years to come. Your relationships deserve attention too. Encourage people. Listen more than you speak. Keep your word. Show appreciation often. The quality of your relationships often determines the quality of your life, because success becomes more meaningful when shared with people you love and respect. Don't wait until everything is perfect before taking action. Perfection is an illusion that keeps people trapped. Progress always beats perfection. Begin before you feel ready. Learn while moving. Improve as you go. Every expert was once a beginner who decided to start despite uncertainty. The future belongs to people who prepare for it today. Opportunities usually arrive disguised as preparation. When the right moment comes, the prepared person recognizes it, while others call it luck. Luck often looks like years of quiet preparation finally meeting the right opportunity. There will be seasons when you feel discouraged. During those moments, remember why you started. Temporary emotions should never determine permanent decisions. Feelings come and go, but commitment remains. Keep planting seeds, even when you cannot yet see the harvest. Imagine yourself 1 year from today. The person you become depends largely on the decisions you begin making today. Every action either moves you closer to your goals or further away from them. Every day is casting a vote for the person you are becoming. Changing your life forever doesn't require a miracle. It requires a decision to think differently, a decision to act differently, a decision to become disciplined when it would be easier to quit, a decision to grow even when progress feels invisible. When your daily choices align with your highest values, your future begins to transform one day at a time, one habit at a time, one decision at a time, until the life you once dreamed about becomes the life you are living. Real change never begins with your circumstances. It begins with you. Many people spend years hoping that a better job, a better relationship, more money, or a lucky break will finally make them happy. They wait for life to improve before they decide to improve themselves. But waiting is one of the greatest obstacles to success. If your thinking remains the same, your habits remain the same. If your habits remain the same, your results remain the same. Life responds to who you become more than what you wish for. The greatest investment you can ever make is not in the stock market, not in real estate, and not even in your career. The greatest investment is in yourself, because everything you achieve will always be limited by the person you choose to become. Personal responsibility is the starting point of every meaningful transformation. The moment you stop blaming your past, your upbringing, your circumstances, or other people for where you are, you begin to reclaim your power. This does not mean life has always been fair. It does not mean you have not faced disappointment or hardship. Every person carries a story of challenges, setbacks, and moments of pain. The difference is that successful people refuse to let those experiences define the rest of lives. They understand that while they cannot rewrite yesterday, they have complete authority over what they choose to do today. That understanding changes everything, because it shifts your attention from excuses to possibilities. Your mindset quietly shapes every decision you make. Before success appears in your life, it first appears in your thinking. If you constantly tell yourself that you are unlucky, incapable, or destined to fail, your actions will eventually match those beliefs. Your mind always looks for evidence to support the story you tell yourself. If your story is filled with doubt, you will notice every obstacle. If your story is filled with possibility, you will begin to recognize opportunities that others overlook. The conversation happening inside your mind every day is creating the direction of your future, whether you realize it or not. This is why changing the way you think is one of the most important decisions you will ever make. Instead of asking why life is difficult, ask what lesson you can learn. Instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on what you can build. Instead of dwelling on failures, study them and use them as stepping stones. Every challenge carries information. Every setback contains a lesson that can strengthen your character if you are willing to learn from it. A positive mindset is not pretending that problems do not exist. It is believing that you have the ability to grow through them. The smallest habits often produce the biggest transformations. People admire dramatic success stories, but they rarely see the quiet routines that made those stories possible. Every successful person reaches their goals one ordinary day at a time. Reading a few pages every morning may not seem significant today, but after a year, you have gained knowledge that many people never acquire. Saving a small amount of money every week may appear insignificant, but over time, it creates financial stability. Exercising for 30 minutes each day may not change your body overnight, but months of consistency produce results that no shortcut can match. Tiny actions repeated consistently always outperform occasional bursts of intense effort. Many people fail because they underestimate the power of repetition. They expect immediate rewards for short-term effort and become discouraged when progress feels invisible. They forget that every meaningful achievement requires patience. A seed planted in the ground does not become a tree overnight. It grows little by little beneath the surface before anyone notices the change. Personal growth follows the same pattern. Much of your progress happens where nobody can see it. Your confidence grows with every promise you keep to yourself. Your discipline becomes stronger each time you choose responsibility over comfort. Your wisdom increases with every lesson you apply, instead of simply learning. Although the changes may seem small from one day to the next, they eventually become impossible to ignore. The decision to improve yourself does not require perfect circumstances. It requires the willingness to begin exactly where you are. You do not have to know every step before taking the first one. You simply need the courage to move forward with what you have today. Every positive choice becomes evidence that you are becoming someone stronger, wiser, and more capable than you were yesterday. Every disciplined action strengthens your character, Every lesson applied shapes your future. Every small improvement builds momentum that carries you toward a life you once believed was beyond your reach. Success is often misunderstood because people focus on the results while ignoring the things. Process. They admire the achievements of successful individuals, but rarely notice the thousands of disciplined decisions that came before the recognition. Every accomplishment has a story hidden beneath the surface, filled with ordinary days, repeated effort, quiet sacrifices, and unwavering commitment. There is no secret shortcut that replaces consistent discipline. While talent may give someone an advantage, discipline determines how far that talent will go. It is the bridge between your dreams and your reality, between your potential and your accomplishments. Daily routines have far more influence over your future than occasional bursts of motivation. Anyone can feel inspired after watching a powerful speech, reading a great book, or attending an exciting event. The real challenge begins the next morning when the excitement fades and the work remains. That is where discipline separates itself from motivation. Motivation is an emotion that comes and goes, but discipline is a decision that stays regardless of how you feel. The people who accomplish extraordinary things are not always the most motivated people. They are often the people who continue working when motivation is nowhere to be found. Every morning presents a choice. You can either allow your feelings to control your actions, or you can allow your commitments to guide your decisions. If you only work when you feel inspired, your progress will always be inconsistent. Feelings change with circumstances, but your goals require consistency. Discipline means honoring the promises you made to yourself, even on the days when keeping those promises feels difficult. It is choosing preparation instead of procrastination, responsibility instead of excuses, and action instead of delay. The remarkable thing about discipline is that it becomes easier the more often you practice it. At first, waking up earlier may feel uncomfortable. Reading, instead of scrolling through endless distractions, may require effort. Exercising when your body wants rest may seem difficult. Saying no to unnecessary spending may test your patience. Yet every time you repeat these positive behaviors, they become a little more natural. Eventually, what once required determination becomes part of your identity. You no longer force yourself to do the right thing because it becomes who you are. Many people abandon their goals because they expect immediate results. They work hard for a few days, or even a few weeks, and become discouraged when success does not arrive as quickly as they imagined. They fail to recognize that worthwhile achievements are built slowly. Every meaningful result is the product of countless invisible efforts. Just because progress cannot be measured today does not mean it is not happening. Just as water slowly shapes stone through constant pressure, disciplined actions gradually shape your future through steady repetition. Progress is far more valuable than perfection. Perfection creates fear because it convinces people that every step must be flawless before they can move forward. As a result, many never begin. They spend months planning, doubting, and waiting for the ideal moment, while opportunities quietly pass them by. Progress takes a different approach. It understands that mistakes are part of learning, and that improvement happens through action. Every imperfect attempt teaches something valuable. Every small victory builds confidence. Every lesson learned increases your ability to succeed tomorrow. Successful people understand that consistency matters more than intensity. Working at maximum effort for one day and then quitting for the next 6 days produces very little. Steady effort, even when it seems small, creates lasting momentum. Reading 10 pages every day is more powerful than reading 100 pages once a month. Saving a little money every week is more effective than making occasional financial sacrifices. Practicing a skill for 1 hour every day develops mastery faster than spending an entire weekend practicing once every few months. Small actions repeated faithfully produce extraordinary outcomes over time. Discipline also teaches patience. It reminds you that every worthwhile achievement requires time to mature. A farmer does not plant seeds one day and expect a harvest the next morning. He understands that growth follows its own schedule. He waters the field, removes the weeds, and trusts the process. Personal success follows the same principle. You continue building good habits, improving your knowledge, strengthening your character, and refining your skills, even when visible rewards have not yet appeared. The harvest always belongs to those who continue working after others have become discouraged. There will be days when distractions seem more attractive than responsibility. Comfort will invite you to postpone your goals until tomorrow. Excuses will sound reasonable, and quitting may appear easier than continuing. Those moments reveal your true character, because success is rarely decided during easy times. It is determined during the difficult moments, when you choose to stay committed despite discomfort. Every disciplined decision strengthens your confidence, because it proves that your future is more important than your temporary feelings. Every promise you keep to yourself reinforces the belief that you are becoming a person who follows through regardless of the obstacles, regardless of the delays, and regardless of how difficult the journey may seem. The direction of your life is determined long before anyone sees the results. It begins with the thoughts you allow to stay in your mind every single day. Your mind is one of the most valuable assets you possess, because every decision, every habit, and every action starts there. If your thinking is filled with doubt, fear, and negativity, those thoughts will eventually influence the choices you make. If your thinking is filled with hope, discipline, and possibility, your actions will begin to reflect those beliefs. Protecting your mind is not about avoiding reality. It is about choosing what deserves your attention and refusing to let negative influences control the person you are becoming. Knowledge is one of the greatest tools for changing your future. Every book you read, every meaningful conversation you have, and every valuable lesson you learn becomes part of the foundation you build your life upon. The people who continue growing never stop learning because they understand that education does not end when school is over. Every day offers an opportunity to gain wisdom. The question is whether you are feeding your mind with information that strengthens you or distractions that weaken your focus. Just as your body depends on healthy food, your mind depends on healthy ideas. What you consistently consume mentally becomes part of your thinking. The people you spend time with also shape your future more than you may realize. Attitudes are contagious. Spend enough time around people who complain constantly, and complaining begins to feel normal. Surround yourself with individuals who pursue excellence, solve problems, and encourage growth, and their mindset begins to influence your own. This does not mean you should abandon people who are struggling. It means you should be intentional about who has the greatest influence over your thinking. Every conversation either adds value to your life or quietly pulls you away from your potential. Your environment extends beyond the people around you. It includes the books you choose, the podcasts you listen to, the videos you watch, and the information you consume throughout the day. Every message enters your mind and leaves an impression. If your attention is constantly filled with fear, gossip, negativity, and endless distractions, your thinking becomes cluttered. When your thoughts become cluttered, your decisions lose clarity. Successful people carefully guard what enters their minds, because they understand that repeated exposure eventually shapes belief. They do not leave their thinking to chance. They choose influences that encourage wisdom, discipline, creativity, and optimism. Limiting beliefs often become invisible barriers that prevent people from reaching their full potential. Many individuals carry ideas about themselves that were formed years ago through criticism, failure, or disappointment. They begin to believe they are not smart enough, talented enough, or capable enough to succeed. Those beliefs quietly become instructions that guide future behavior. When you believe something is impossible, your mind stops searching for solutions. When you believe growth is possible, your mind begins looking for opportunities. Changing your beliefs changes the way you approach every challenge you face. Replacing negative thoughts with empowering ones requires consistent practice. It is not enough to think positively once in a while. You must intentionally challenge thoughts that weaken your confidence and replace them with thoughts that strengthen your determination. Instead of saying, "I always fail," remind yourself that every setback teaches valuable lessons. Instead of believing you are trapped by your past, remind yourself that every new day gives you another opportunity to choose differently. Your internal dialogue becomes the voice that either pushes you forward or holds you back. Every action you take begins as a thought. Repeated thoughts become beliefs. Beliefs influence decisions, and repeated decisions eventually become habits. Those habits shape your character, and your character determines the direction of your life. Protecting your mind means protecting your future, because the quality of your thinking quietly influences every area of your life. Every opportunity you recognize, every challenge you overcome, every relationship you build, and every goal you choose to pursue. The greatest difference between people who achieve remarkable success and those who remain stuck is often not intelligence, talent, or opportunity. It is the willingness to take action. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect time to begin. They tell themselves they will start when they have more confidence, more money, more experience, or fewer responsibilities. The problem is that perfect conditions rarely exist. Life continues to move forward, whether you are prepared or not. Every day you spend waiting is a day that could have been used to build skills, gain experience, and move one step closer to the future you desire. Action creates momentum, while hesitation creates regret. Every meaningful journey begins with a single step. You do not need to have every answer before you begin. You simply need enough courage to move forward with what you know today. Many successful people started with limited resources, countless uncertainties, and very little certainty about the outcome. What separated them from everyone else was their decision to act despite those uncertainties. They understood that clarity often comes after taking action, not before it. Every step teaches something new, and every lesson prepares you for the next opportunity. Fear prevents countless people from reaching their potential. The fear of failure, rejection, criticism, or making mistakes keeps them trapped in the same routines year after year. Yet failure is not something to avoid at all costs. Failure is one of life's greatest teachers. Every mistake reveals information that success cannot provide. When something does not go according to plan, you gain valuable knowledge about what needs to improve. Instead of seeing failure as proof that you should quit, view it as evidence that you are learning through experience. Every successful person carries a history of setbacks, disappointments, and lessons that eventually shaped their wisdom. Learning from failure requires humility. It means asking honest questions instead of making excuses. Instead of blaming circumstances or other people, ask yourself what you could have done differently. Every challenge contains an opportunity to become wiser, stronger, and more prepared for the future. The people who grow the most are not those who avoid mistakes. They are the ones who study their mistakes carefully and refuse to repeat them. Every obstacle becomes a classroom for those who are willing to learn. Growth should become a lifelong commitment rather than a temporary project. The moment you believe you have learned enough is the moment your progress begins to slow. The world continues changing every day, and the people who continue learning remain valuable because they continue adapting. Read books that challenge your thinking. Listen to people whose experience can expand your perspective. Learn new skills that increase your ability to contribute. Every piece of knowledge you gain becomes another tool you can use to improve your future. Investing in yourself produces the greatest return you will ever receive. Your health deserves attention because your body carries every ambition you have. Taking care of yourself physically increases your energy, improves your focus, and gives you the strength to pursue your goals consistently. Your skills deserve continuous improvement because every new ability increases your opportunities. Whether you develop better communication, leadership, financial knowledge, or problem-solving skills, each improvement makes you more capable of creating value for others. Relationships also deserve intentional investment. The people around you influence your attitude, your decisions, and your resilience during difficult seasons. Show appreciation to those who support you. Encourage others with your words. Listen with genuine interest. Build trust by keeping your promises. Strong relationships create encouragement during challenges and make success more meaningful, because achievements become richer when shared with people who truly care about your growth. The future is shaped by what you choose to do today. Every action, no matter how small, becomes part of the foundation you are building for tomorrow. Each lesson you learn, every skill you develop, every healthy habit you strengthen, and every courageous decision you make adds another brick to the life you are creating. Progress belongs to those who refuse to remain comfortable, who continue learning after others stop, who keep moving after others become discouraged, and who understand that lasting transformation is built through consistent action repeated day after day.